evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us. Tonight, we will examine the rise and near fall of the Dead Bulldog Revival, who they are and what they want. Comedy. While some are skeptical, most agree that comedy is what makes us laugh. It was this notion that formed the Dead Bulldog Revival. In the beginning, they were four, and they wrote sketches. They were inspired by vaudeville greats, such as Stanley Applesmith, Joe Gibson, and Rocky Westman. They performed wherever and whenever they could, and they were largely ignored.
I modeled my act after Stanley Applesmith. He had so much talent. I think we were ignored at first because no one knew who we were.
Nobody really noticed us. I think it was because we were doing mime at the time, so it was pretty hard to answer questions. Plus, no one really likes mimes anyway.
I think people despise mime because they can't relate. I mean, how many times have you been trapped in a box in your life? 2, 3 times tops.
Undaunted, the Dead Bulldog Revival finally found a suitable outlet. They took to the airwaves of 90.5 FM, where they gladly wrote and produced a sketch comedy show, which aired Friday nights at 7:30.
We were excited about this show. I mean, it was good to finally have an outlet. And by doing radio, we were following in the footsteps of the great Rocky Westman.
Indeed, Rocky himself would have been pleased at the magnificent comedic offerings of these 4 talented young men. But it was not to last. Matt, their prodigy, had a propensity for writing dirty sketches. Several of his sketches were cut and never aired, leaving Matt bitter and frustrated. He threatened to leave the group on more than one occasion, and eventually, he did leave the group and pursue a career as a freedom fighter.
I don't know, I never listened to Matt anyway. He might have said something about leaving. I don't remember.
We were pretty upset when Matt left. He was a prodigy. Last we heard from Matt, he was in Nicaragua, fighting the Contras. The absence of a 4th man left the group disillusioned and depressed, as reflected in their sketches.
The 6th and 7th week shows were the toughest. I think the whole Jimmy Turnkey episode was a metaphor for Matt's loss.
I guess it was about the time that Matt left that Mike took up drinking. It really splintered us. Those were tough times. With one member gone and another on the booze, it was tough going for all. The Dead Bulldog Revival's attempt at Thanksgiving humor culminated in a near brawl, and the group almost split up.
I remember the Thanksgiving show. We were all supposed to say what we were thankful for. Everything was scripted, and we just had to stick to the script. But it didn't feel right. We wound up being thankful that Mike's a big jerk.
I was going to thank the both of you genuinely, but now I'm thankful for the fact that I have other friends.
Yeah, well, I'm thankful Mike's a big jerk.
I'm thankful that we can get rid of Mike and steal all his good ideas.
And that pretty much summed it up.
They called me a jerk, and I guess I was, but I didn't care. I only cared about my beer. It was rough. I think the only reason we kept that part in there is because it sounded like we were joking. People thought we were joking around, but there was some pretty serious stuff there.
Serious stuff indeed. Fortunately, renovations at the station forced the Dead Bulldog Revival to take a much-needed hiatus. They had a month off to reflect, rewrite, and refocus, and to find a new member. Word of the vacancy spread like wildfire, and several out-of-work celebrities flocked to be interviewed for the coveted 4th spot. Only one would make it.
So, I hear you need a 4th member. I'm pretty big with college girls on campus, you know what I'm saying? What's the deal?
Yeah, we know. Can we get Kramer? Where's
what
Kramer?
kind of humor is this?
Come on. What is this? So who's this, Chevy? What is he? He chases Chevrolets? I mean, is that it? Or is he?
No,
he's the
man.
one from the movie with the Home Improvement kid. Look, I'm sorry, Chevy. Nobody can see you fall down on the radio, man.
And besides, your ratings are poison. Next!
Well, originally the lads wanted to do sketches, but John was a stickler for music. I've got this concept for a skit. It's called Mr. Chap. He gets really upset when things go wrong.
We did that one already. It was called Mr. Guy Ringo. Stick to the drums. Next.
Ooh, yeah, you need a little comedy? Snap into the Randy.
I don't know, Randy Macho
Ooh,
Man.
yeah.
Next! I saw a Jerry Seinfeld out there. I can do a Jerry. Who are these people? I mean, what's the deal? So you do comedy. I can do comedy.
The only difference is that we're funny.
Next!
So you kids today, you Generation X, you're always whining. I like that. I can whine. I can't get tickets to Sonic Youth. Oi.
Wow, yeah, I remember that. Doug and Wendy Weiner. That's great.
Remember this one? I'm from Jersey. You from Jersey? I'm from Jersey.
I love that. It's awesome, man. That's
Joe,
great.
man, just go.
But I don't want to go.
Man.
Picking the fourth member was a difficult decision for the group.
It was a difficult decision for us. I liked Jerry, but he was pretty egotistical, and I just didn't think it'd work out.
I really liked Joe Piscopo, but Mike and Kurt both said no, so there really wasn't much I could do. It was during the middle of the screening process that Mike had to go to New York. It was there that he encountered a man who would later become the fourth member of the Dead Bulldog revival.
I was in New York, and there was this guy who kept bugging me for change. I was just joking around with him, and I told him I'd buy him a sandwich if he would do some mime. I didn't think he'd do it, but he did. He was phenomenal. It really blew me away. So I bought him a sandwich, and we talked about the show for a while.
But the others were wary of having a virtual unknown.
I was wary of having a virtual unknown, but nothing seemed to be working out, so I told Mike to bring him in for an interview.
So, have you ever done stand-up?
No.
Have you ever written any sketches?
No.
Have you ever performed with a comedy group before?
No.
I don't know. I kind of like him.
He's got potential.
Hell yeah, he's got potential. Watch this.
Do it, JoJo.
Wow! That is an uncanny box. Man, it's like he's trapped.
That's what I'm telling you. He's our boy.
So, you say you'll do the show if we give you a sandwich?
Peanut butter and jelly?
We can
Sure.
do that. All right. Excellent. That's the kind of commitment we're looking for. And so, for the price of a sandwich, the guys hired a virtual unknown to fill the vacant fourth position. But rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, he will not remain unknown for long. His name is Scott, and he's happy to be here.
And we're happy to have you there,
Oh, gosh, golly, we sure are.
Thanks, guys.
Yay!
Okay, shut up.